John Fetterman, the candidate for Senate in Pennsylvania, who we all know and love. Shrek, basically, Walmart brand Shrek. John Fetterman has come out, and he's got a massive lump on his neck. I can never not look at that freaking lump on his neck. I think it's going to be like the alien from the movie Aliens. It's just going to pop out of him. Now watch, he's probably got cancer. I'm going to look like a huge asshole, and they're going to take this clip out of context. If he's got cancer, I apologize, but I stand by what I said. John Fetterman, more clips are coming to surface from him from a couple months ago talking about gun control. He's very pro-assault weapons ban, anti-gun, anti-NRA, blah, blah, blah. He says he's going to nuke the filibuster to get gun control passed, which is why if you're in Pennsylvania, as much as I don't like Dr. Oz, just bite your tongue and vote for that clown. My God. John Fetterman recently had some comments come to light where he referred to the NRA as, and I quote, the lunatic fringe of gun rights, which anyone who's actually pro-gun knows that the NRA is actually really moderate, and most people that are pro-gun can't stand the NRA, not for the big bad boogeyman reason that people on the left hate them, but because they sell out and don't go far enough. So Fetterman believes that the NRA is the lunatic fringe of the pro-gun movement. Well, I'm going to show you a video that I think would better describe the lunatic fringe of the pro-gun movement with this next clip here.
I believe I did the right thing, but I may have broken the law during the course of it, and I'm certainly not above the law.
Yeah, new at 6 tonight, the mayor of Braddock admits to pulling a shotgun after chasing a man he suspected of firing a gun near his home. And it turns out that man was just an innocent jogger. Good evening, everybody. I'm Wendy Bell.
And I'm Mike Clark. Tonight, the big question is the mayor being given special treatment? Only on 4 tonight, reporter Bob Mayo digs into the controversy.
It happened just down the road by Braddock Mayor Fetterman's home when he heard what he thought was assault rifle gunfire. He chased a man that he thought was responsible, then pulled a shotgun to confront him until police arrived.
With my son, my 4-year-old son, and I heard approximately a dozen or more what clearly sounded like assault rifle gunshots go off.
Mayor John Fetterman says he rushed his son inside, called 911, and took off in his truck after a masked man in black he saw running. But Chris Mayeras, the man Fetterman confronted, turns out to be an innocent jogger who police say had no weapon.
There wasn't any assault rifle shots. It was bottle rockets behind the library.
Mayor Fetterman did have a weapon.
A 20-gauge shotgun under the back seat of my truck, which I pulled out and I showed to just say, look, we're going to wait here and we're going to get this all sorted out when the police arrive.
Mayeras and the mayor tell very different stories. He says Fetterman
followed me into North Braddock and pulled a shotgun and aimed it at my chest.
Did you point the shotgun at him?
No, I did not. I pointed it, a way so that he would see that I was armed, but I did not point it at him. In fact, I didn't even have a round chambered or remove the safety at that point.
For both men, it was frightening. North Braddock's police chief says his officers tell him the shotgun incident was over when they arrived. Mayeras says that's not true. The police tried to laugh it off.
I mean, there's a mayor with a shotgun and 6 other cops surrounded me. What else could I do but this?
I believe I did the right thing, but I may have broken the law during the course of it, and I'm certainly not above the law if I did. But what I did in a split second and out of concern as the father and the mayor.
He's trying to make it like it's okay. He's trying to justify what he did. I mean, you're the mayor of Braddock in North Braddock with a shotgun.
After meeting with both men, North Braddock's chief is advising Mayeras to bring his concerns to county authorities. So far, Mayeras has not filed a formal complaint with either
that's enough. Okay, so first off, I've taken concealed carry classes. I've taken self-defense classes. I've taken what to do after the shot classes. I'm going to tell you that he absolutely did not do the right thing. The first thing you are taught is, well, number one, you never run toward gunfire. Unless it's in your house and they're like shooting at your family in the other room, you're at home. You hear gunshots down the street. You're not supposed to get in your car and go drive to it, because guess what? That's how you get hit with the murder charge. If you drive to a public place where you believe there was gunfire, you pull up and that guy starts shooting at you, well, you're going to be in a lot of trouble because you didn't need to be there. It wasn't self-defense. You weren't on your own property. You didn't have to leave your house. So he chased an innocent jogger down, And I didn't point the shotgun at him. How do you show someone that you have a shotgun through the window of a car without actually pointing it at them? There's no way. It's too big. You wouldn't be able to flash it like you're in a rap movie with or a rap video with a Desert Eagle. A shotgun's way too big for that. I don't believe that he didn't stick it in his face. Whatever happened with the police is whatever. The police aren't running for public office. The fact is, Fetterman is a bad, flawed candidate. When you look at this guy, he's never had a job. He comes from rich parents. He didn't have any job until he ran for mayor. He worked some fake consultancy job for his parents' business where he never actually did anything. He's got criminal charges against him for, I believe, and don't quote me on this, I could be mistaken, I believe it's vandalism of some business. He's obviously got that situation. And then there's the concerns with his health. When you hear the guy talk, it's someone that's clearly not there mentally. There's something wrong with it. He had a stroke, right? That's what happens when you have a stroke. And I'm happy he's okay. I'm happy he didn't die. Just like I'm happy Biden didn't die from his brain aneurysm, right? But that doesn't mean that's someone that should be elected to office, okay? People aren't making fun of him for having had a stroke and talking the way he does. That's not why people are coming after him. People are being critical of him because they don't think he's mentally fit to hold office. No one's saying don't debate his ideas, but when the guy can barely put a sentence together and it's clear that he's struggling to even talk about the weather when you see him talk, there's legitimate questions. This is a guy that could vote to send your kids off to war. This is a guy that could vote to raise your taxes. This is a guy that could vote to change all kinds of things. This is someone, I'm sorry, it's more than just dunking on a guy who's clearly got some mental deficiencies. If he wasn't running for public office, then it'd be a different story. Yeah, then it'd be a dick thing to just make fun of the guy who had a stroke. No one would say that was cool. But, we're talking about someone that, again, the same rule applies with him that applied to David Hogg and Greta Thunberg and that Izzy girl that we made fun of last week, the climate girl. The same rule applies to him. When you put yourself out into the public eye, you open yourself up to criticism. And some of those criticisms are going to be whether or not you're mentally fit to hold office. People love to, you had psychologists ruining their careers by diagnosing Trump with not schizophrenia, sociopathy or narcissism without ever sitting down with him. That's like rule one of being a psychologist or a psychiatrist is you can't diagnose someone you've never sat down with, but it earned them internet points. It was virtue signaling. It got them, brownie points with their online friends, and that was the cool thing to do at the time. Well, it ruined their career. Okay? This is a completely different story. This is a guy who's clearly got something wrong with him. This is a guy who's clearly got a checkered past. So, you can have, yes, Dr. Oz lives in New Jersey. He has a house in New Jersey and a house in Pennsylvania. So you can have Dr. Oz, who lives 20 miles away from the border, or you can have the guy who pulls shotguns on black people.